Hi there. Today I'm going to be going through mood boards, what one is, how to make one yourself, and why you'd want one. So stay tuned. Hi, I'm Natasha Tuskovich. I'm here to share my journey in the world of fashion. Please like and subscribe and tune in every week for more videos.
All right, let's make a mood board and define your personal style. You can do this for your ongoing overall look and style or for individual seasons. I would recommend starting with just one to get a feel for your essential style features, and then you can make others for new seasons or just when you feel you need a refresh to your wardrobe. It's a great idea to do one before a big shopping spree so that you don't spend too much money in the wrong places and end up with a bunch of pieces that look great on their own but don't work well together. It can also be a good way to decide ahead of time which trends you want to pick up and which ones you don't, so that you don't end up with too many trend pieces in a season and not enough classic items that'll last you a long time. So, what is a mood board? A mood board collects creative information for a project. In fashion, a mood board is going to show the visual themes, the colors and styles, and what type of garments. When I made my summer capsule collection video, the themes were casual clothing for warm weather in a city. I started with neutral colors as a base and added accent colors to give it personality. But I didn't just add every color I could. In order to keep the collection cohesive, I wanted to make sure I stuck to particular colors and a combination that worked well together. I also stuck with shorts and skirts, plus one dress, in order to make it clear that it was for warm weather. Pants and jeans would have diluted that feel and weren't necessary for the climate I'm in. I also kept it light and feminine, so even though there was a lot of black, I didn't add a leather jacket or boots to this collection, even though I totally wear those all the time in the fall. You want to do the same in making a mood board for fashion. It's about curating particular looks that harmonize together and excluding items that dilute the general theme. If you're like me and you have lots of different styles that you wear for different occasions or different seasons, you might want to do a couple more mood boards in order to accommodate your different types of styles so that they don't start blending together and get confused. Now, why are mood boards used? In fashion, they're used in the industry by designers and stylists, as well as by those who simply wish to organize and consciously curate their own wardrobe. They help to show an overview of an idea or a concept, and make it really obvious if something is overpowering or lacking. Putting everything together in front of you can really help you see if you have too much of something, or if the colors aren't sitting nicely together, or if it's just missing a piece. They're also used in many other creative fields, including photography, filmmaking, graphic design, interior design, product design, just design in general. Why would you want to make a mood board? You might want one if you are trying to better understand your own style or wardrobe, if you found yourself trying to develop a new style, or just to better hone in on what your style already is and isn't. If you're a fashion stylist, mood boards can be very helpful to show a client what your general style is, or what a specific idea for an outfit would be for an event. If you're a fashion designer, a mood board is a great way to start a collection and ensure that you have a clear idea of what you're doing. I actually forget to do them most of the time, but every time I do, I'm so reminded of how useful they are. It seems like an unnecessary step, but they really do help clarify your direction. In this case, for instance, Pinterest really surprised me in a helpful way when it kept recommending pictures of modern royalty, people like Meghan Markle, Queen Letizia of Spain, and Kate Middleton. And it gave me a light bulb moment, like, yes, people who want to dress classic, feminine, pretty, not over sexy, very regal. I knew I wanted to keep the collection kind of workwear, career wear focused, but this really helped me define the target customer and what they want to look like. If you're looking to get into fashion school or to get hired for a job, having mood boards in your portfolio is a great way to show your process of creating. They want to see how you work with your ideas, where they come from, and then what that means in the final collection, which you'd also show in your portfolio, so that they can see the process of how you got from inspiration to finished garment. And the mood board's a part of that inspiration moment. Now first, how I made this cute cork board. I went to the dollar store for materials, and I was able to find pretty much exactly what I was looking for, except that I would have preferred a larger frame. In the future, I'll be making a sketchboard to hold the designs rather than a mood board, and I'll pick up a bigger frame from somewhere else to do that. In this case, I grabbed a square white photo frame and got rid of the glass and matting. I was actually really pleased with this frame because I wanted a white painted frame, and this is just perfect. I also found some square pieces of cork that fit almost perfectly. They were a little bit big, which is better than a little bit too small, so I just cut them down slightly on two edges. I used two of them on top of each other, stacked, in order to get a thicker layer. That way I could push a thumbtack all the way in if I wanted and it wouldn't poke through. But you could get away with just using one layer if that's not important to you. The two layers plus the fabric did mean that I couldn't close the backing board on with the original metal tabs, so I used tape to seal it, but I couldn't even find clear packing tape, so I had to use green masking tape, which looks awful from the back, but it seems to be doing the job, and you don't see it when it's hung up, so if it does the job and it works, it works. The backing board for the frame did come with a sawtooth hanger on the back, so that made it easy to hang. I was pleased with that. For fabric, I went through my stash and I found this absolutely perfect dressmaking themed pink and white print that I just had to use. It was a gift that I'd forgotten I even had, and I was originally looking for a floral or a gingham or a polka dot, and then I couldn't believe how much this was perfectly suited for this project. I couldn't resist it. I measured out where I wanted to place the pattern into the frame, and then I ripped the fabric to cut it, leaving the extra attached in case I want to use it for something else. Ripping fabric is a good way to make sure you're getting a straight seam through instead of using scissors. That way, the fabric is slightly warped. You're actually cutting a direct straight line into the weave of the fabric when you rip it instead of cutting it. Other alternatives to a cork board would be if you wanted to glue or staple images to a poster board. You could also use a magnet board. I considered buying a magnetic dry erase board instead of a cork board and then putting fabric in a frame around that with some super strong magnets, but for the store I was at, this worked much better with what was available. I might still go the magnet route when I make a board for the collection sketches though. You can also just stick to digital formats. If you're strapped for time, a well-curated Pinterest board is sufficient. Otherwise, you can use an image editor to arrange them in a more directed fashion. You don't have to pay for something fancy like Photoshop, but if you already have it, give it a go. But good old free Canva will work perfectly on the other hand.
In fact, if you're looking to make your own mood board in Canva or a physical one like this, check out the description down below for a link to sign up to my upcoming free course on how to make your own style board. I'll be going through step by step how to do a mood board for your own personal style and curate your own wardrobe.
Step 5. Ensure that the whole look is cohesive and presents the right feel. And number 6. Use your mood board to help make decisions regarding future purchases and styling outfits to wear. To define your personal style, first, consider how much care you put into your style so far. Do you know what your look is? You probably know when you look at something whether you'd wear it or not. Can you articulate why? If you're struggling, you can pull some pieces out of your wardrobe and consider what it is about them that you like. What pieces do you wear the most? What did you buy and never wear? What do you hate every time you wear it? And what do you wish you wore more often? Next, open up Pinterest. If you know there's a particular style or designer or item of clothing that you want to focus on, leather jacket or jeans or dresses for instance, that's a great place to start. Or you can just search fashion and see what catches your eye. One suggestion is to perhaps start 2 separate boards, one for anything fashion that catches your interest, and one specifically called mood board, etc., for images that you'd actually want to buy and wear in the near future. A good way to start is just to save everything you like in the first round without being picky, and then stop and take a look at what you've gathered so far. You can check for themes and colors that show up repeatedly. Start deciding what you want to specifically look for more of, and what you want to avoid adding to the board, but maybe still add to your other boards. Are there any individual items that you've been dying to wear or that you have on your mind? A great new dress or pair of boots or style of coat? If you've got a great hero piece, you can really build the rest of the wardrobe around that. Are there any colors that really stand out to you? Keeping in mind what colors you usually wear. If you tend to wear certain colors and you buy a whole bunch of colors that you don't normally wear, or especially one item in a color that you don't wear and that doesn't match anything else in your wardrobe, you're not very likely to wear it in the future. If you're a jeans person, make sure you include looks with jeans. If you love black, make sure you use that. Check for what colors are showing up a lot that you don't already have in your current wardrobe, and if you're interested in investing in those, you can get a couple pieces that all go well together. What's trending for the future that you might want to join in on? Try to narrow it down, including a few neutrals and a few fun colors that all go well together. In this board, I chose black and white or cream and a very soft pink. I wanted to keep it a very limited palette, which is good for a intro collection or a capsule wardrobe. If you're doing a full wardrobe, you might want to include a few more colors in this. Give yourself some options. Also check if any patterns are standing out. Patterns go through trends just like colors. Focusing on one or two specific patterns can really help add interest to your style. You might want a patterned dress, you might want a specific patterned shirt or a coat. Something like that you can build an outfit around really makes a nice touch. For this collection, I knew I wanted to use a large graphic black and white print, as well as more delicate floral prints. In this case, I'd already pre-decided that I wanted to go with a big window pane check because I hadn't seen it very much, and I do love it when I do see it. And I'm starting to see it more and more in designer collections and on street fashion, so I definitely can tell that trend is on its way up, which I'm excited to be, because I love it. Double check if there's any accessories that you've got to have. A great purse or a pair of shoes can really lead a collection or just help tie everything together. Also, ensure that you're considering the practical needs of your lifestyle, your job, and your climate. It's all well to say that you want to wear more skirts in the winter, but if you hate the cold, you better make sure you have some warm stockings. If you love crazy styles but have a conservative job, you're going to need to make sure you add some more versatile pieces. If you pick cute pants that only look good with heels, make sure you have the right shoes. Now, some general things to look for. Inspiration. Things like styles, colors, fabrics, textures, and silhouettes. If you're making a physical board, you can even add real swatches of fabric. You want to think of concepts, ideas, places, eras. People can be influences. If you're looking at actual style influencers, designers, celebrities, historical fashions, or figures. Art is a great thing to be inspired by. Different objects, product design, anything that catches the mood or the atmosphere you're going for, really. You could also add text or quotes. I didn't include any in mine today, but it can really make it clear what the literal mood of your mood board is. Now, for this collection here, I started from the idea of vintage retro skirts and a couple of distinct prints. Styles and silhouettes were pencil skirts, full skirts, basically Dior's new look. The themes were classic, sophisticated, elevated, flattering, clean. The themes were classic, sophisticated, elevated, flattering, and clean. I wanted a very, very classic look. The context is an urban environment, elegant city wear. The colors, as I said, were pink, black, white or cream, and a graphic black and white print. I also wanted to include a floral print or an alternative floral like plants but not flowers, considering using a watercolor or a vector image. Wasn't quite sure at this point. After this, I kind of decided not to go with that, which makes a lot of sense now looking at this mood board because they're such a tiny part of the mood board. I think even at this point I could kind of tell that they weren't really gelling with the rest of the collection, but it took me until I colored them in to really understand that. But I mean, that's kind of the whole part of the process. You want to make sure you can correct as you go through and adjust. Now, at this point, I'd started to fill my Pinterest board, and I went through and evaluated and added some more. I then saved the most indicative images to a folder on my computer to print out. I also picked up an InStyle magazine as I wasn't sure if my printer would work. I mean, spoilers, obviously it did. But I got a few images from the magazine as well, which was nice for a bit of a glossy touch. I printed out the most important images bigger and the rest in various sizes that were a bit smaller. And then I worked to put them all together in a way that looked nice and captured the mood and started organizing the images in different corners of the board. I wanted simple, well-cut dresses, pencil skirts, full skirts, skinny pants and wide leg trousers, and some shirts with interesting sewn kind of draped or tailored details. I added some pictures that weren't exactly perfect but fit the atmosphere. For instance, the sweater dress and the oversized cream coat. I knew I wasn't going to do any knits in this collection, and I wasn't going to do any coats in this collection, but they were the right looks for the rest of it. I also added the blonde bob with the interesting makeup just to give a bit more of a face touch, and the houndstooth skirt with the red shoes, even though I wasn't going to include any red. The full page image from the magazine with the rocky background and the black bustier dress gave a great backdrop to add photos on top of, so that was worked out really nicely. I mostly arranged them to group the colors together, ending up with a cream corner in the top right, black corner on the bottom right, black and white graphic corner on the left, and moving into pink on the top left. And then I added the couple floral prints sprinkled right on top. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out, especially since, as I said, I don't usually bother with this step, but I'll be doing it more in the future, as this was actually surprisingly helpful this time, and it looks so cute on my wall. I've had it in the background of a couple of videos since now, and I've been loving it, having it up there. As I said earlier, I will be looking for a bigger size frame to make a larger board, but I'll probably use the larger one to host the individual collection sketches. The nice thing about corkboard is that you can just keep reusing them for the next project every time. You take a picture and it lasts forever and then reuse the board. Do check in next in later weeks, and I'll be posting how I sketched the collection based off of this mood board. I sketch and color the pieces, and then the pieces are going to go into sample production. So in summary, making a mood board can be quick if you use Pinterest, and can be really fun if you want a nice visual project to hang in your space and represent your style. They can be really helpful to clarify things if you're looking for a new direction in your fashion, or if you just want to narrow down the things you already have. Maybe you're doing a wardrobe clean out and trying to move away from fast fashion and invest in the right pieces. A mood board can make sure you're confident of where to invest your money in quality pieces and styles that you know you're going to use, rather than ending up with pieces that you don't like that were expensive. So, do you like the mood board idea? Would it help you focus in on your style? Comment below if you're going to be making a mood board, and show me what yours looks like if you've already made one. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. You can sign up for my new upcoming course. There'll be a link down below in the description or on my website, and I'll be going through step by step how to make your own style board and design your own curated wardrobe collection.
All right, are you going to make your own mood board? They can really be a great tool to help you clarify what pieces you're going to buy, what you actually need and what you don't need, what you already have. Can just kind of make your whole wardrobe come together in more of a seamless, cohesive type of way. So I highly recommend them, and it's so easy. You don't need to do a full physical for one. Just go on Pinterest for an hour and click a bunch of stuff. Makes it super simple. So give it a try. If you make one, post it in the comments. Let me take a look. I'd love to see what you've done. And tune in next week. If you like the video, please give it a like, maybe a comment. Give me a subscribe. We're going to be posting more videos every week. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye now.